You know, sometimes the biggest scandals start with something small, a single question from a journalist about some blue lights. But that one question led to a political cover-up and then a secret so dark it could bring down an entire city's leadership. This is the story of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and what happens when the testimony reveals not just corruption, but an alleged murder. Okay, let's get right into this.
It all really starts to unravel with this one sentence from Lieutenant Colonel Kelebogile Thepa. Now, on the surface, it might sound like a boss is just unhappy with an employee, but it's so much more than that. This is the first real crack in the official story. It's the first sign of this massive political pressure coming from the absolute top, from Umama, the city manager, Dr. Imogen Mkhwanazi. And it's our first hint that there's a cover-up in motion that is about to shake the city to its core.
So how in the world does a routine media question about blue lights spiral into allegations of murder? Well, it all kicked off with a single letter and a journalist who just wouldn't let the story go.
Okay, so check this out. On October 16, 2021, a pretty explosive letter gets signed. We'll get to that in a second. Then, nothing happens for over a year. But on February 2, 2023, a journalist gets his hands on it. He makes one phone call to the police spokesperson, Ekurhuleni Thepa, and just like that, he kicks off a chain reaction that's going to expose this huge web of corruption and violence.
And here it is. This is the letter that started the whole thing. It's a document signed by Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi that pretty much illegally grants a private security firm the powers of the police. I mean, it's a blatant abuse of power just sitting there in black and white on an official letterhead. And as you're about to see, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
But for the person who just did her job, who saw this letter and reported it through the proper channels, the blowback was immediate and it was brutal. This is how they tried to shut her down.
It began with just 2 words, a chilling warning delivered to a police officer who dared to do the right thing. And this message came on behalf of the city manager. The instruction was unmistakable: lay low. So first, they try to scare her into silence. When that doesn't work, they take away her voice. The city manager herself sends a memo seizing control of all communications. Then they take away her whole department. Mkhwanazi himself disbands her entire unit. And finally, they just get rid of her, redeploying her to a totally different role. I mean, this was a systematic takedown of a dedicated public servant, all because she wouldn't back down.
And then the intimidation got violent. Colonel Thepa was attacked, held at gunpoint, even kidnapped. But here's the thing. Her attackers didn't care about her brand new car or her wallet. They just wanted her phone. They kept asking for the information she had. This wasn't a robbery. It was a message, delivered loud and clear. We know what you've got, and we will do anything to keep it quiet.
But here's the twist. This whole thing wasn't just about corruption or political games. The Madlanga Commission was about to hear testimony that would uncover a secret that was far, far darker and way more deadly. And this is the question that just hangs over everything, right? Why go to such extreme lengths? This intense, systematic effort to silence a spokesperson and control the story, was it really all just to protect some official over an illegal letter? Or was that letter actually hiding something much, much worse?
And then, a new witness comes forward. He's known only as Witness D, and with his testimony, the entire story takes a truly horrifying turn. And right at the center of it, the very same man from the blue light scandal, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi. Witness D testified that he saw a suspect being tortured with a method called body tubing. He described it like this: a plastic bag is pulled over someone's head and then tied around their neck, all to make them talk. The suspect didn't make it.
And right here, this is the smoking gun. Witness D testified that after the suspect died, Brigadier Mkhwanazi gave a direct order. He allegedly said they needed to get rid of the body, throw it in a mine shaft or dump it in a dam. And then Witness D adds this absolutely chilling detail. As he said this, he looked at me. This is a direct allegation, under oath, linking a top police official to the cover-up of an extrajudicial killing.
Okay, so now we have 2 completely explosive stories, and they're both pointing to the same people. You've got a police spokesperson being silenced for exposing a corrupt deal, and you've got another witness alleging the cover-up of a murder. It's time to connect these dots. So let's just lay it all out. You have Brigadier Mkhwanazi, right? He's accused by Lieutenant Colonel Thepa of abusing his power, and then he's accused by Witness D of covering up a murder. Then you have the city manager, Dr. Mkhwanazi, accused by Thepa of direct political interference and of protecting Mkhwanazi.
You have two different witnesses telling two different stories, but they both point to the same conclusion, a culture of corruption and zero accountability, right at the very top. And this quote from Lt. Colonel Thepa really ties it all together. She realized that the whole campaign to silence her was happening because Mkhwanazi was being protected by the city manager. All of a sudden, that frantic, aggressive cover-up starts to make a terrifying kind of sense. What if it wasn't just about some illegal letter? What if it was about shielding a key official from an allegation of murder? So this is where we're left. You have two independent witnesses who've painted this unbelievable picture of a system where power is abused, dissent is crushed, and a cover-up might even extend to an unlawful death. The testimony is out there. The allegations are on the record. The big question is no longer what happened, but what in the world happens next.